Hey guys, welcome to our September group. I'm excited to be back. Welcome back to you guys that are returning, and welcome to the new faces. I've kind of been spending the summer working on these programs, kind of increasing my knowledge on program design, learning about strength training, how we're going to build muscle, how we're going to lose fat, nutrition, all of that stuff. So I'm excited to be back with the new group, sharing lots of information with you and sharing these new workouts that I've come up with. You're going to see lots of new stuff. So we're going to be doing some different formats. We're going to be switching that up a bit because we don't want to get bored in our workouts, although we are going to be focusing a lot on kind of those basic moves so we can really build that strength. Talking about progressive overload, which I mention all the time. You will find a pattern in our workouts. Week 1 and week 3 are going to be very similar in their workouts. We're just going to be switching up a couple things to increase or work on that progressive overload. So there'll be little switches, but the workouts will be similar 2 and 4, 1 and 3. Some new things in the group, there's the tracking sheets. Those are up to you guys if you want to use them, but you can follow along, track your weights, track your reps, track the prime exercise that we're going to be doing before each workout. But again, this is stuff that is just tools for you. You don't have to use them. And speaking of that, the weekly schedule, I'm sending out a 7-day schedule for you, things you can do each day. And again, that is a suggestion, okay? That doesn't mean that's what your week looks like. I get it. Like, we have work, we have kids' sports. Monday nights, we may not be fitting in that workout. As long as you're getting those 3 strength workouts in there and you're not doing them all in one day, awesome. If you can put a rest day in between, great. But if you have to do your workouts Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and you're getting them in, that's great. So don't hyperfixate on that schedule. That is just, if you want to follow along, that's what works for me. You do what works for you, okay? So we are going to get started, and also the libraries, check those out. We're going to have recipes and we're going to have bonus workouts that's going to focus on mobility, stretching. We'll have some HIIT workouts in there, and I'm just going to keep adding to them throughout the month. So they're not going to be a ton right now, but as we work through them, I'm going to add them in there so you can go there on your active rest days. You can go there when you're meal planning and get some resources from there. If you guys have any any suggestions that you want in there, let me know, okay? So we are going to start off with our warm-up. So we're going to start with a standing cat-cow. We're going to put our hands behind our head here. We're going to exhale, round that upper back, and then inhale, open up that chest. Same thing, exhale and open. I'm going to be adding a morning mobility video to our library. A lot of these moves in our warm-up today are going to be in that one. It's like my top favorite moves that are awesome for when you wake up in the morning. I think it's under 10 minutes long, just some movement you can do to get your day started. We'll go one more. Now we're going to reach up, 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 hands behind our head. We're going to go into some shoulder rotation. We're going to go here, flip that hand, palms behind our back. Same thing up, we're going to flip here, and then hands behind our head. We're just going to go through this a few times. Our workout today, shoulder, chest, triceps. So those are the areas, the joints, the muscles that we're going to be warming up today. Great job. A couple more here. And then we're going to go to the edge of our mat. And we're going to go into those walkouts or inchworms. So from here, let's take a big inhale. We're going to exhale to that forward fold. Feel some lengthening through that posterior chain. Let's walk it out to that high plank. Hold. And then we're just going to walk it back in, come back up to that standing position, and walk it back out. You're going to feel all of those push muscles turning on here, chest, shoulders, tricep. Back up. And then one more time. From here, we're going to step forward with that right foot into that best stretch ever. If we're feeling it in our bodies, we're going to reach to the back and then back up, plant that hand, other side. Into that twist, reach to the back if we'd like. And here we go back. Awesome job. One more time. On that side. Perfect. Other side. And we're going to go back into that high plank, and we're going to walk it back in. Roll those shoulders back up and back. Now let's go into some high knees. We're gonna get that heart rate up. So we're bringing those knees up in front of us. We can take that impact out here, go into a modification, and we're just doing marches. You can just jog on the spot, step ups, whatever it is, but we do want to try here to get a little bit of that heart rate up. Some of that some of that cardio started. Nice high knees, or we're just running. Knees up to those hips, high. Nice and light on our toes. We'll finish up here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake those legs out. Let's do some arm circles here. Big circles backwards. Switch that forward. Same thing, other side. Forwards. Let's flap them. Swing those out in front of us. Last move of our warm-up. Today we are going to need some dumbbells, thinking about upper body, chest press, shoulders, triceps, so grab the weights that feel good for that. And we're also going to be doing tricep dips, up and back with those shoulders. So we're going to need a chair, bench, stool, something nice and sturdy to do on that, okay? So grab your water, grab your weights, and we're going to get started. All right, you may have seen the prime time move on the tracking sheet if you looked it over. If not, this is just gonna be a quick 1-minute workout or exercise that we're gonna go through at the beginning of each workout. It's gonna be specific to our workout. So we're warming up that muscle group. It's kind of like our buy-in to the workout. We are going to time ourselves. We are gonna track that for 1 minute. And each time we do this throughout the weeks, throughout the months, we're going to try and improve on that number, okay? We're starting off strong September with push-ups. So we have 1 minute of push-ups. I want you to count your reps and write those down after. If you are moving from knees to toes, make sure you're tracking. I got maybe 3 on my toes, the rest are on my knees, etc. We want to be very specific in that, okay? So 1 minute of push-ups, all right? If you need that modification, we are using a chair, something high, even the wall if we need to. The higher we elevate that chest, the easier. So 1 minute of push-ups is going to kick off our first workout back. Coming down to the ground, choosing your level. We've got 5 seconds left. Make sure you're counting your reps, okay? If you don't track anything else, track these prime workouts. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale down, exhale push. Remember, if you're on those toes, leading with that chest and pushing back up. Good job. If we need to modify, we are coming down to those knees, continuing with those push-ups, counting those reps. Keep going, guys. We have about, we're over halfway there. Keep going. If you need to pause, that's fine. 1 minute of push-ups is no joke, okay? But we are hitting all those muscles we're gonna work today. Shoulders, chest, triceps, that core is working for us as well. We're almost there, guys. Keep going, don't lose count. We've got about 6 seconds left. And rest. Awesome job. Okay, I'm gonna give you a second, grab a drink. Give those upper body muscles a bit of a chance to rest. And I'm gonna talk about our first circuit, okay? So we are going to be doing 3 exercises. Shoulders, chest, and tricep. We're gonna go to shoulder, chest, tricep. We're gonna throw twice. We're gonna throw in a mobility and then go back to that shoulder, chest, tri. So each exercise we're doing 3 times, okay? First move, we are going to go into a front raise, pull back. So we've got our single weight front raise, pull back. Second move, we are coming down onto the ground and we are going into chest press. Third move, we're gonna grab that chair, stool, bench, and into tricep dips, okay? So grab the weights, grab those weights, the weights you need for those exercises, whatever you wanna use for those tricep dips. Tricep dips not in your body, we can go into those tricep extensions with a single weight. All right, so single weight, we are starting with that front raise. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna go front raise, pull in and back. Awesome work for those shoulders. You may have humbled yourself by doing this and need to go down to a lighter weight because it is much more challenging than you think. Go ahead and do that. Really focus on that slow and controlled lower. So when we come up, press out, we are slowly lowering that weight down. We're not just dropping it down. We're thinking about that form, gentle bend in those knees. Those ribs are stacked over our hips, keeping that core engaged. One more here. And rest. Okay, coming down to that chest press. Onto our backs, our feet are planted, palms are facing our thighs for these. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. We take an inhale. On that exhale, we press those weights. If you have a bench, you can use it. Go ahead and use your bench for these. Remember, on that exhale, on that exhale, as we press, we're thinking about engaging that core. We're thinking about making the space between our rib cage and hips smaller, okay? So we're not just pushing our lower back into the ground. We're really engaging those deep core muscles. Using whatever cue works for you. One more here. And rest. Good job. We're setting those weights aside and we're going into tricep dips. So we are bringing our butt onto the bench. Hands are beside our glutes. We're going to slide off and dip down. 5 seconds left in our rest. 3, 2, and 1. Slide those hips off. Slowly lower and press back up. Here, our feet, the closer they are, the easier it is. If we want it more challenging, we're going to move those legs out here. Just remember, it's just our legs moving, not our whole body. Keep close to that bench. We don't want that extra strain on our shoulders if we're way out here, okay? We want to hit those triceps, so we're staying nice and close to that bench, pressing back up. Mind to muscle connection here. Inhale down. Think of those triceps. Exhale as we press back up through the backs of those arms. One more. And rest. Good. Shake those arms out. Quick little break here. And then we're getting back into that first move with that raise and pull back, okay? Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna raise, pull back, keep that core strong, and lower. We're making sure we're not doing this, keeping that tailbone untucked, ribs are over those hips. In, press it out, and down. Keep that posture, keep that alignment, and don't walk out those knees, okay? So we're gonna go through each one of these moves one more time. Here, we're gonna go into a minute of mobility work, and then we'll go back to their third round one more time. Here we go, down onto the ground for our chest press. Nice heavy weights, guys. Remember, those last 2 reps should be a struggle. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale and press. Inhale, lower it down. No fancy exercises today. We're keeping it basic. We're really focusing on those shoulders, chest, triceps, specifically 3 sets of each. Data shows that doing 3 to 4 sets of an exercise is the best way to build muscle. So sometimes in exercises, yes, we're gonna do 2 sets and that's okay. But the best way to build muscle are those heavy weights and doing 3 to 4 sets. So sometimes we're working on endurance, sometimes we're working on strength. One more, and rest. That's why we're kind of switching up that rep range every now and again. Okay, triceps. And then we're gonna take a little break, go into the mobility on the ground, and then finish up our final round. Here we go, guys, almost there. 3, 2, 1, let's go, tricep dips. These are not an easy move, keep going. No, thank you, Suri. We are here for 40 seconds. Remember, if you want this move more challenging, push those, walk those legs out a little bit further, straighten them here. A little bit more challenging for those triceps. Great job, guys, we're almost there. I know those arms are on fire. Keep going, last couple reps here. Whew. Oh, and rest, okay. I'm gonna show you our move here. We're gonna come down onto the ground. We're gonna go into a figure 4. So our first side, we're gonna bring that right ankle over our left knee, hands behind our backs. We're gonna tap that knee to the ground, and then we're gonna bring that foot over to the ground, taking that elbow, hold 3, 2, 1, and back up. We'll do that for the first set, and then we'll switch over to the other set, okay? So coming down onto the ground, into that figure 4. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna tap down that knee, and then bring it all the way over. Big lower back release here, holding 3, 2, 1. Back up, working on a bit of hip mobility, and a nice lower back stretch here as well. Hold 1, 2, 3. And if this does not feel good in your body, you can stay here and just sit in this figure 4. You could sit here in a figure 4. You can sit up on your chair in this figure 4, working just on that hip mobility. I know it's a challenging one. It is for me. That's why I try to incorporate it into my workouts. One more. Perfect. And then we will switch over to that other side. So we're gonna take that left ankle over to that right knee. We're gonna drop that knee, bring it over, elbow to floor, elbow to foot, wherever you can reach, hold that, and then bring it back up. Awesome. Really trying to incorporate a little bit more mobility into our workouts. If you're like me, you're always skipping that slow stuff. When I have mobility on the calendar, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. No, and then I skip it. I'm always skipping it. So throwing this and some core work right into our workouts so we don't have that option. I like to be sneaky like that with those things that I do not love. Let's go one more on this side. Perfect. And then we're coming back up and we're gonna finish off that final set, okay? So we're starting off with those raise and pull back. So grab that single weight. Here we go in 5, 2, and 1. No, I know that's not how you count, but I started too early. And lower. Summertime fried my brain, apparently. Being home with 3 kids all summer, it can do that to you. The girls are back in school and having just the little one home, it's mind-blowing how different it is. Like, he's still a lot of work, but it's just different. It's quieter. There's a lot less refereeing. Great job, guys. Those shoulders, we're getting strong. Almost there. Slow and controlled. And rest. Okay, we're coming down onto the ground. For those chest press, definitely an area that is underworked in females. We want to strengthen that chest. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Last time we're doing each of these exercises, so making sure if you haven't yet, if you're tracking, we're writing down our weights. There is an option to write what reps as well if that's something you want to track. Because when we go back to do this exercise, say in 3 months down the road, or this workout, we'll be doing the same time, so you can try to change up those reps if you'd like. Try to get that extra one in there. But I really like just focusing on that weight. Can I go a little bit heavier? and rest. Okay, let's finish off strong with those lovely tricep dips. And again, sometimes this is just doesn't feel right in our body. Those shoulders, it's just too much on them. You can go into those tricep extensions. Even sitting right here, dip, dip, remember biceps to ears. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Biceps to ears is for the tricep, or for the extensions. Obviously not for these dips. That would be really impressive if you could do that. Keeping that butt close to that chair, lowering straight down, driving up through those triceps. You guys are doing so good. Almost there. Last couple of reps, we're almost there, guys. Yep. One more and rest. Great work. Okay, first circuit is done. Take a little rest here. Make sure you grab some water. We are going into our next circuit. It's going to be the same thing. 3 exercises with that 1 mobility in there, okay? Take this time, let that heart rate come down, hydrate, and we'll start into our next circuit. All right, next 3 moves. We have our Arnold press, so rotational overhead press. We're starting with those palms facing up and then out. Second move, we are coming down onto the ground. We are gonna go palms in, narrow press, out to a fly. Third, we are staying on our backs, going into those skull crushers, okay? I'll give you some cues and tips and that as we go. So we're gonna start with those Arnold presses. Grab that weight you're using, overhead shoulder stuff. It's always, again, another humbling move. I cannot go up in my weights yet. It's so frustrating. But we're gonna keep working on it. Okay, so grab those weights. Here we go. Feet are hip width apart, gentle bend in those knees. Inhale. As we exhale, we press those weights up overhead into that rotation. If you're struggling with these weights, you don't want to go any lighter, you can go ahead and go into those alternating. So we're going one side at a time. Sometimes that can feel a little better if you're not wanting to make that drop. And we're checking that posture. Those ribs are stacked over our hips. We're trying not to push them out forward or out behind us. We are keeping that core engaged. One more. Awesome, here we go. Down onto the ground, onto our backs, feet planted firmly. And we're going into that narrow press. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna go narrow, out, squeeze together that chest. Dropping narrow, elbows close to our side, narrow press, out to that fly. Good job, guys. Slow and controlled. Still thinking about that core engagement on that exhale. Always getting that sneaky core work in there. And rest. Okay, we're going into those skull crushers next. So palms are staying in. Remember, we're hinging at that elbow. Not moving that shoulder to elbow. Keeping that nice and strong. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Working those tricep muscles here. This is another one. I feel like anytime I have to do triceps, I'm like, well, grab the tiny weights. And exhale. Good job. Engaging that core. On that exhale, on that hard part of the movement. And rest. Whew. Those arms are on fire. Coming back to a standing position, we're going to start at those Arnold presses again. Here we go. You can leave those weights down until our break is over. Really give yourself that well-deserved rest, all right? Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. So we can go alternating, or we can go both at the same time, whatever feels good, as long as you are maintaining that proper form. If you need, you can even do these seated on your chair. Takes out a little bit of that lower body work and really focuses on that upper body. Slow and controlled here. Inhale and exhale. And rest 20 seconds, coming back down onto our backs into those flies. And actually, you know what, getting up and down kind of reminds me of something that we have somebody that's expecting in the group, and she's probably a little bit uncomfortable getting up and down, but I'm going to, okay, here we go, 3, 2, 1. It just reminds me I'm going to be doing maybe some more cues and modifications for that. So whether it's just low impact or maybe some different positions to help out, especially right now, depending on where you're at, sometimes laying on your back can feel uncomfortable. So if we get there, just let me know, and I can definitely provide modifications so you're not laying on your back. A lot of people are really scared to lay on their back in pregnancy, but if you're comfortable, if you're not feeling any discomfort, lying on your back for short periods of time is okay. You just have to be really cued in to how you're feeling. You're not feeling lightheaded, and rest. You're not feeling pain or discomfort in any areas, okay? We're going into those skull crushers next. So that is just a reminder to our mama to be in a group. Make sure you are reaching out if you need an extra modification. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, into those skull crushers. Because there are lots that I can do, that I can provide, and I will try to kind of remember to cue as we go through these workouts to things that might be more beneficial to you in pregnancy and might be more comfortable. Remember, exhale. Engage that core. That mama to be you're thinking about on that exhale, hugging that baby. So using those deep core muscles to hug, to hold that baby in place, and rest, guys. And that's gonna help with that pressure and that ab separation, right? Okay, we are going into our mobility here. So we are going to sit in a 90-90. Now you can just stay in this 90-90 and kind of lean forward, work on your mobility there, or you can go into the 90-90 get up. So you're gonna be here and you're gonna switch over, push up on that other side, okay? So we're gonna do that for 1 minute, and then we'll get into that final round. If you have a big belly in the way and it's hard to get from here to here, I would recommend just staying on one side and maybe working on those get-ups, because it is really good in pregnancy, and then switching to the other side for the next half, okay? So let's get started into that 90-90. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So we're pressing up, and then if we are switching, we're gonna switch here, and we're gonna press up on that other side. We're gonna be here for a minute. Good job, guys. If you are switching, you can switch now to that other side if you were just doing the one side, or if you were just holding the stretch on that one side. This is such a good mobility exercise for those hips. So if you have tight hips, I feel like I'm like moving around in circles here. Like, where are you going? Just stay in one position here and push. Switching over to that other side. Here we go, guys. Couple seconds left, and then we'll get into that final round. And here we go. Rest, shake those legs out. We're gonna come to that standing position, into those Arnold presses again. Finish up strong. Grab a quick drink here. Got about 5 seconds to get ready. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. here for 40 seconds. Making sure those weights are heavy enough here, guys. I don't want you just whipping through these reps. I can't even pretend to whip through these reps. Put down those 3-pound weights, pick up those heavier weights. Let's feel that struggle. Get those shoulders strong. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Maybe not squeeze, engage that core. I don't like the term squeeze because people tend to like suck in their stomachs, and that's not what we want to do. We want to think about engaging that deep core on that exhale, and rest. Okay, we're coming down. We're going into those narrow presses with that chest fly. Here we go. A modification here, if you don't want to come to a laying position, you could do elevated push-ups. Here we go. Let's start this first. 3, 2, 1. Elevated push-ups would be a good modification here. You could also grab your wrist or your wristband. You could grab your resistance band and do pull-aparts. So you're standing, arms out, parallel to the floor, and you're pulling that band apart. So exactly what it's called. Just some other ways to engage these chest muscles if we're not comfortable laying on our backs for whatever reason. Great job, guys. We're almost there. We're going to finish these up into our skull crushers and rest 20 seconds into our skull crushers. Here we go. And if we're choosing a standing, we can do the tricep extensions here again. 3, 2, 1, if that's more comfortable for you. You could do standing tricep kickbacks. Those would be also another modification that would be better than coming down onto your knees, or sorry, onto your back. So close, guys. Whew, almost there. We're going to be done with these arms. One more. Can I do it? Oh, barely. Okay. That's embarrassing. Come on, little weights. All right. We are almost done, guys. We are going to hit 1 minute of a little bit of cardio. Get that heart rate up. We are going to go into squat jacks for 1 minute before we finish up. Squat jack, we're here and here, here and here. We're going to go as hard as we can for 1 minute. Modification for that low impact. We're stepping it out side to side for those jumping jacks. 1 minute, that's all I ask. And then we can go into our cool down, okay? So here we go. Let's finish off strong. Really burn it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So squat jacks, here we go. 1 minute, as fast as we can, getting as deep as we can, as low as we can in that squat. Quick, quick, quick. Most of the time I'm saying it doesn't matter how many reps you get in. For this minute, it does matter. I want you to get in as many as you can. Really get that heart rate up. So close, guys, just about there. Modification if you need, go into those step outs, marches, anything that keeps your body moving. We have 20 seconds left. Maintain that speed, try not to slow down. Almost there. And rest. Whew, good job. All right, let that heart rate come down. Grab a drink, go into some stretches, into that cool down. We're gonna think shoulders, triceps, and chest. Great job getting through mats, guys.